Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Bears going up against the Cowboys. With kickoff straight ahead, let's check in with the two men who will be calling tonight's game as we say hello to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, we find ourselves right in the center of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in Arlington and AT&T Stadium. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game. Sometimes that can be a deflator, and sometimes that can just really make you mad and more determined the next time out.
Here we go. First down, Prescott. And incomplete to open things up. Fourth-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go. But I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, play on all 4 phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or two down the road, they could have a solid starter.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early in the process. Got a little bit of luck as some guys may have fallen to them. But for the most part, knew their philosophy and stuck to it.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So it'll be first down here after the run.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Let's go! The inaugural carry for Darren McFadden. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Darren McFadden, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their starter. He spent 3 years in Denver. Now in his 8th with the Bears, Jay Cutler.
And he threw his 200th career touchdown pass in 2015. So we know he's got the arm. That's never been an issue for him. But one of the things I think is almost overlooked about his game, his ability to move around.
Yeah.
He actually ran some, zone read last year. I saw him against Arizona early in the season, run for a couple of first downs off of the zone read. So be careful of Jay Cutler's legs. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A first-time Pro Bowler in 2015, Sean Lee, in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Cutler. And that is incomplete. Eddie Royal is intended target, and that'll bring up a fourth down. Now the Bears' sixth-round pick in 2014, Pat O'Donnell on the punt.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here now the Cowboy offense onto the field to get their first crack at it. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the man out of Mississippi State. It's Dak Prescott.
The size, the build, his ability to run the football, the potential to be a starting quarterback in the NFL is there. They'll have to build on that and continue to see him progress.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's got some space here. And he cuts it right sideline. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big run that time by Elliott. 42 yards on the ground. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. He was over 100 yards a week ago, and he's well on his way once again.
Say it with me, partner. Encore, encore. This guy's headed towards getting it done one more time.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store.
Let's go!
And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Pernell McPhee is a strong run-stuffing outside linebacker who's beginning to blossom as a pass rusher.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stock troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll try again with Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot. And Dez has got it. Dez Bryant for the Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, his 4th touchdown.
If you want to be around 550 subs, check my channel.
Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. Changes here, if anything.
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. Still first down.
Cutler gives it to Howard. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a second and just 3. And we get a peek at the offense and a peek at Alshon Jeffrey.
An absolute matchup nightmare for any defensive back. Size, speed, terrific hands.
Three yards to go here on second down. Another carry for the rookie. It's Jordan Howard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
He's quite an eyeful, isn't he? Big, strong, physical guy. When he came out of school and when I looked at my draft board, I went back through my notes to see how I had him rated. The number 2 back on my board coming out of college. Why? As I mentioned, big, strong, powerful guy, faster than you would think, and has the ability to catch the football out of the backfield, something that we didn't know he truly possessed. We saw that in the offseason workouts. Now he's putting his running ability to good use in the NFL.
1 quarter down. Plenty of scoring here already. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Off the play fake here. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
And now it's 2nd down. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They go play action with Cutler. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. David Irving in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
So a gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football. This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Prescott looks to throw on first, and they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like the guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. Here's Prescott. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Oh, thank you. Prescott yet again. Caught left side, Williams. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Cowboys now. They're just hoping for more of the same. Last time they forced the punt that led to a score.
They flipped the field, essentially, and that's what you want to do as a defense. Make sure that you put your offense in a great position to run their offense and put the ball in the end zone. That's exactly what they accomplished.
Well, they accomplished that last time. What will they accomplish this go-around? Cutler will throw. On the right side, this is Miller. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Completion left side to Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Here's Cutler. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Howard receives it from Cutler. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. This is taken at about the 14. Oh, nice move. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Don't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Prescott surveying the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And that's caught by Beasley. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. So he makes the grab and the change move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Here we go. 1, 9, 1.
Now a play fake here on first down. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And the offense moving quick. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA halftime report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Cowboys just want to get back out on the field as they've looked good last week and now today. The Bears are just going to have to try and figure out a way to make a dent in this deficit. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. 1st and 10, McFadden's going to stay inside after the handoff, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. That takes the lead up to 7. Cowboys with the ball midway through 1. Elliott's going to show off his strength. He'll pick up more than 10 yards on the play. Continuing on the drive, Prescott's got a completion middle of the field, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. That puts them on top by 14. Now 1st and 10, the catch is made after a quick pass, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. Cowboys up now by 21. Now to late in the first half. Prescott's going to find his mark, and that connection will lead to a gain of 19 yards. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because then you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
We got the
Defense,
lead.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run. On third down, it's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. 31 yards on the punt there. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Well, they held them to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab?
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up a...
And the coach has decided to throw the red flag.
After review of the play, looking on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on third down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they've run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Extra point try by Bailey. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting in for 6 points. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've got to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots.
And he's going to be taken down. Cutler sacked. Randy Gregory in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
On second down, here's Cutler. And Miller with it over the middle. There he goes left side. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
Holding. Offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. They go play action here on first down. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Cutler leaves for Howard on the draw. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
Holding. Offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a second and forever. A give to Howard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Connor Barth now for the Bears field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. They start the drive with McFadden, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Running again and again, it's McFadden. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Prescott to throw it. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Now Prescott. He completes it to Bryant. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
I remember pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. It'll go as a gain of 10 there, and it'll be first down, Cowboys.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
A first down throw for Prescott. That escapes the sack. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
From the red zone now, Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. On second down, Prescott again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
Throwing, Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cole Beasley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And his kick is good. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Big mistake here by the kicker, kicking it out of bounds.
The one that drives coaches crazy. Keep it in the field of play and let your guys cover.
Throwing now, Cutler on first down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it second down. They've really been able to contain Alshon Jeffrey. That catch a rare exception in this game.
And that's a feather in their cap because he's such a tone setter for his team on offense that they try and get him the ball early. And, of course, what comes after that is often. And for them to limit him and him not catch a ball until the second half, it's a big reason why his team is behind on the scoreboard.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he is enjoying another fine performance just like a week ago. But let's be honest, when he's playing like this, it creates a lot of matchup nightmares.
And it really does, because it creates a ton of headaches. You try to design so many coverage for a guy like this, but truthfully, he should have an answer to anything that's thrown at him. If you throw a linebacker at him, he should have speed and agility on his side. If you throw a defensive back against him, he should have size on his side. So no matter what you throw at him, he should have the final answer. And in his last 2 games,
yes.
Oh boy, has he ever.
Time for a break. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This is Howard on second down. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You just tried to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field. I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And quickly, they get to the line. On 2nd down, McFadden. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Prescott. And Beasley with it over the middle. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the 1st down yardage there. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Well, Prescott here to throw. And this one incomplete. Well, apparently taking a knee is not in vogue. Not able to add another touchdown.